Hey. Ayun. Oops. What's up, guys? Bruce, good evening.
Aga.
Yeah. Glendale, what's up? I think Bruce is sad because he's a John Cena fan. Yeah, just he's sad about the Cena heel turn.
Grabe
There
naman.
were there were kids crying.
Not in our party.
May
Yeah.
nakita akong reel of a kid just throwing out all his Cena toys.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Bruce,
Yeah.
where were you? Kasi you
So
bought
fun.
a ticket and you weren't there.
Yeah, okay.
What's up with that? What's up with that? Is everything
Hot
okay?
one, guys. I hope you stay hydrated. Ang init na. My God.
Oh, he overslept daw, sabi ni Bruce.
Okay. That's fair. Late na nga yung start ng simula nun.
No, actually, 8
Yeah.
na siya nag-start eh, di ba?
Yeah, oversleep. Sana humabol ka na. Naabutan mo pa yung heel turn.
I kind of overslept too, pero...
No, but you were there. You
yeah,
made
I was there. I was there.
Yeah.
So,
You made it before the show started.
Kaya nga.
Tama
Kala ko,
naman.
Nagising ka ba ng 7 before 7 and naisip
No,
mo?
I woke up at 5 and then I realized, puta na sa BGC pa na ako. So, tulog ulit ako.
Oh yeah, you did say.
Very good ka dyan.
And then I slept again. And then,
Yeah.
What time did you wake up?
7. Saktong 7.
Yeah, and the doors were open. So
Yeah.
it's not really it.
Kaya, dumating ako 7:30, di ba? So,
Yeah.
safe.
People are
Ako, I came straight, diretso ako from terminal to bahay to BGC. Then after the event, bumiyahe na naman ako pa Laguna. So,
You want an award for that, Emil?
I'm just saying,
Nate Lagare Award. Yeah, congratulations. You are the first recipient of your award.
I had a hell of a day last Sunday.
Baka mag-heel turn yan.
Hindi naman. I will never turn heel.
That's what John Cena said.
Oh, sabi ni John Cena yun. And look what happened.
Never say never.
I will never turn heel on any of you
That guy
guys.
preached hustle, loyalty, respect, and he didn't hate anyone.
Oh. Gagawa si Emil ng bagong Philippine Wrestling Podcast. Shit!
Kaya, sarili lang niya. Just 90 minutes of shitting on people. 60 minutes of alienating. Yun.
Oh, I'm sure Emil would go for more episodes.
Oh my God.
He would do more episodes.
Alienated the podcast. Oh. Kaya ready ka na yun. Pick up in TPN.
The Play a Nathan Philippine Wrestling Podcast.
Oh God. Oh my God.
Sure ako, mas maraming episodes yan. Sure ako dun.
More than 8.
Oh, more than one season. This Emil Nate, knowing him, may pangarap yung maging sportscaster eh. So magiging consistent yan. Sasama mo sa'yo si Rowan. Good luck with that.
15 seconds.
All right.
Please hit my music and My name is Colin Cash Money Cannon.
What do we want to talk about?
Hey, this is the Cosmic Cactus, Paul London.
You're still just a kid. Hello, WWE Universe in the Philippines. This is Charlotte.
Because mommy is always on top.
What's going on? This is Xavier Woods, aka Austin Creed.
I'm home.
We are pretty deadly. Yes, boy. Yes, boy.
To say his name!
Name and he appears.
Stan C, the voice of Philippine wrestling, University of the Philippines, Diliman.
Romoran, the fancy dad, University of the Philippines, Diliman.
Chino Liao, Best Gout Machine, San Sebastian College, Recoletos, College of St. Benilde, De La Salle University, International Academy of Film and Television.
Emil Nate, small forward, the Ateneo de Naga University.
Rowan ASH, Bad Boy ng Dance Floor ng Quezon City, Central Scholar University, Manila.
I love you solo! Then you're listening.
You're listening.
And you're listening
And you're listening to the Wrestling Podcast. And you're listening to the Wrestling Podcast.
to the Wrestling Podcast.
Wrestling Podcast.
The Wrestling Podcast.
You're listening to the Wrestling Podcast. Yeah.
You are watching and listening to the longest running weekly episodic Filipino wrestling podcast. This is the Wrestling Podcast. It is a full house tonight. Stan C, Romoran, Chino Liao, and Emil Nate all checking in for this week's live stream. And I just need to know that everybody is still in one piece because all of a sudden, nagka-heat wave bigla.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh my
Pumatak
God,
lang yung
baliw.
March sa kalendaryo. Uminit
Yeah,
bigla.
I thought
Last week, it was so cold.
Akala ko makakaalis ako ng Pilipinas ng malamig pa. I guess that's not happening.
Nope.
So, I was leaving in a week. I was like, baka malamig pa niyan. Nope, not even close. My God.
Sa sobrang init ng mga pangyayari, nalagas yung buhok ni Emil Nate.
Yeah, nagpakalbo talaga ako because I know it's summer, it's gonna be hot. So, I had to do it.
You did it for The Rock.
For the final boss.
Hindi ka naman bald fraud.
Yeah, he's not a bald fraud.
Yeah, I'm not a bald fraud.
Pag nag-turn heel ka tapos gumawa ka ng competing podcast, yun, magiging bald fraud ka. But before that all happens, let's let Emil do his thing and shill our patron community where we just got another new patron this week.
So we had a new patron
Kilala mo kasi, no?
this week.
Emil Nate.
Yes. I mean, you did say who he was. So shout outs to you, sir. All right. So a way to support the podcast is to subscribe to our Patreon and Gank. The links are patreon.com/wrestling podcast and ganknow.com/wrestling2xpod for as low as $5. Some perks and benefits, a Discord community, special discount service visa pasabais, weekly review content of the wrestling shows like Raw, SmackDown, NXT, Dynamite.
Haven't done in a while.
Yeah, I haven't done it in a while, but things are busy. But once we have some time, we'll get to it. And again, by subscribing to either one of those, you're supporting the podcast going show. Malapit na. We're only a month away from our 11th anniversary. So thank you to everyone who has supported us throughout the years and to those who will continue to support us. Again, the links are patreon.com/wrestling podcast and ganknow.com/wrestling2xpod.
Supportahan niyo din daw yung future podcast ni Emil. Balang araw, gawin niya yan.
Pag hindi niyo sinuportahan, di man na siya aabot ng episode 8. All right, let's get to the Convergent Netflix plug.
All right, y'all. If you want to watch WWE for real, for legit, without having to go through the nagpapa na gamit ng paa, all you got to do is check out the new Converge and Netflix bundle plans. They give you instant access to Netflix from plan 1798 for Netflix Basics all the way up to plan 2298 for Netflix Premium. It's 300 Mbps plus speed boost plus the Converge Experience box, which I am now using to use my VPN to watch Netflix and catch Stan being horny for Rhea Ripley on commentary, and then syempre, and then Blast TV. It's still WWE is still super 100% legit in the Philippines here on Blast TV, and Converge gives you free access to that. Just gonna go to gofiber.ph to check out how you can avail of this plan. Kasi super sulit niya. Go check that out, guys.
Also, shout out to Red Planet BGC. May Blast TV sila nun.
Nice.
Nakanood ako ng replay.
Baka naka-converge din sila.
Naka-converge din yan sila. I don't know.
Yun, gusto natin yan.
Nahuli ko si Mr. Ovation on the spot.
Look. All right, let's start yung podcast natin with the wrestling talk over on Monday Night Raw, where we ended the show with Io Sky now becoming a Grand Slam champion. So klaruhin natin, apparently according to Wikipedia, kasi yun na pala yung basehan ngayon. The Grand Slam for the women is you win both world titles, the WWE Women's Championship and the Women's World Championship, and yung NXT Women's Championship. So, yun yung parang nag-take nung place ng Intercontinental US, and then you win the tag titles.
May explanation naman talaga yan. Bailey did the Grand Slam thing when she won the tag team championships.
Yes.
And if you revise the definition of the women's Grand Slam now, that means everyone who had won the Grand Slam over the past 5 or so years would no longer be Grand Slam champions.
Yeah, but then again, you didn't nangyari sa men's eh. Remember, like when the World Heavyweight Championship got abolished and then the new one got reinstated in 2023, they had to revise the rules.
Yeah, pero alam mo yun, it's wrestling, it's a make-believe sport, so we can make believe.
But also, this is why I make the joke na parang Wikipedia na pala yung basehan. Kasi even WWE is not gonna tell you na, ito yung basehan ng Grand Slam, ha?
Unless they retroactively say na, hindi na pala Grand Slam si Bailey and sila Becky and whoever.
Yeah.
I do wonder how this affects the authority, I guess you could say, of the mid-card titles since nandun sila, di ba? And sa men's Grand Slam, ganun yung ibig sabihin nun, kasama yung mid-card titles. So, I don't know. It's a women's. Siyempre, sayang lang naman din yung instigation or the implementation of the women's US and Intercontinental titles. If it's not going to be part of the Grand Slam, then what's the point of winning that, di ba?
Mm-hmm. Anyway, okay, so that's not even the main talking point here. The main talking point here is the fact that Io is now champion, and Rhea Ripley and Bianca Belair appear to be headed towards a triple threat feud with Io for the Women's World Championship. Do you guys think na ito nga yung magiging WrestleMania 41 match for the Women's World title?
Ito na
I
yun.
think so.
Yeah, definitely. This is it. After the Chamber, when they teased, lumabas sila si Rhea saka si Io, I knew that was the direction this is heading. Kasi they couldn't just ignore Io Sky. Like she is just big of a star as Rhea and Bianca. So I didn't expect though for Io to win the championship nung Raw. I was just expecting na it would be a screwy finish. So Rhea will retain, but at the same time, Io will still have a case to go after the championship. But yun nangyari. Nanalo si Io. And I think it's a reset sa character ni Rhea and I so badly needed. And the post-match breakdown and the interview that she did was nakakapanibago sa akin because she hasn't done something like that for a while. So I'm glad that the direction this is heading kasi magkakaroon ng crisis si Rhea and this could possibly lead to a heel turn because someone has to be the bad guy in this match. Like all three of them are baby faces. So will it be Rhea? Will it be Bianca? We still got 7 weeks to find out.
I just found it weird that number one, Bianca Belair chose not to address Naomi and Jade Cargill.
Yeah, that was
umiiyak
weird.
ka lang nung Sunday. Tapos yun, okay na, di ba? Okay.
They released a whole video of her reacting.
Yeah,
Eh,
diba?
sinabi niya sa Raw na na hihintayin niya muna na makausap sina Naomi and Jade. There was actually a backstage interview where she said that.
No, kaya nga. So it's a non-answer, diba? It's like a non-answer.
No, I mean, I think what Chino is saying is that they couldn't have done that on Raw when that was the big question hanging over everyone's heads involving Bianca.
Yeah, exactly. Diba? That was the thing that people paid attention to no Women's Elimination Chamber. The fact that Carter came out and cleaned house with Naomi, diba? As her mop. So parang ang weird lang na Bianca chose to take the time to give us a non-answer when that was the answer people were looking for. Diba? I also found it weird that Rhea Ripley chose to focus on Bianca Belair mid-match na parang never naman niya ginawa yun, and then all of a sudden, now nag-start na siya ma-distract for no reason at all. That to me was a little weird. Like why is she supposed to be this dominant champion? So dapat hindi siya na-distract, diba? But why is Bianca so special? It's a little lopsided in how they try to try to add Bianca Belair to this match. But I mean, I'm not complaining, other than that actual complaint. I'm not complaining that we're getting a triple threat out of all of this.
Ako naman hindi ko na buy na Rhea was gonna be a heel here because Rhea is so beloved, and I think Chino hit the nail on the head. He articulated what I didn't really think through. Na Rhea suddenly acted out of character in confronting Bianca at ringside, diba? Like, but nga ba na-distract, diba? And now that means, or that looks like, she's gonna be the heel here. I don't think full heel, just the meaner girl who will serve as the antagonist for the two other baby faces. So I don't know. I don't think it works that way, but buti na lang, people are happy anyway that IYO won.
Yeah, I was gonna ask actually kung possible ba na triple threat match na lahat sila babyface. I'm not sure if we've ever seen that at a WrestleMania.
Not at a WrestleMania, but I've seen that happen in the independents. So
in WWE, sige, have we seen that? Because I can't recall any off the top of my head.
I don't think so, I guess. So not that it's impossible, and not that you shouldn't try it, pero I don't think you should mess with the formula just because you need to stick to a formula.
Yeah, alignment is such a big deal to WWE, diba? It's always good versus evil, faces versus heels, diba? So I don't think it's going to be the thing to risk, especially during the biggest show of the year, which is
I can only think of one actually, Stan. Triple H versus Shawn Michaels versus John Cena.
Oh yes,
from Survivor
there you
Series,
go. Yes,
2009. Yeah, all of them were good guys at that point.
Yeah, pinoint out din ni Doc G sa comments. Thanks for that. So yeah, tingnan natin how it's gonna shape out over the next few weeks. Now, let's transition to that really fiery CM Punk promo that he cut to start Monday Night Raw. He called out The Rock. He called out John Cena. Certainly did not pull any punches. And then he turned his attention to Seth freaking Rollins.
Now, this is a CM Punk that I watched 12 years ago. That bigla ko naalala yung talagang fiery CM Punk promos because this is the first time since he came back na he really was like the CM Punk of old. The anger, the yung galit niya, ramdam mo eh. And it was the perfect first promo after the events of Elimination Chamber because the crowd was really anticipating what are they gonna do, diba? Like sobrang mainit yung John Cena angle. So you trot out CM Punk and you address the situation in the best way CM Punk can, and the people ate it up.
Yeah, nakakatawa to kasi he started off the segment by asking who to shit on first. He was taking requests in the middle of his promo, which I love because it's so super off the cuff. Siya lang yung kaya mag-pull off niyan, diba? Because he just has the mic chops to do it. And I love everything that he said in this promo. Diba? Parang dito mo nakikita yung Summer of Punk from back in the day, the pipe bombs that he used to drop, diba? Na napuputulan pa siya ng mic. Because they're on Netflix, they have all the liberties in the world. So, ang saya lang ng promo na to. And ang saya din ng brawl nila ni Seth Rollins. I like how nagsapakan lang sila right away. He got like a sentence out about Rollins and then wala na. Diba? And everybody just went crazy. Even backstage, even during that one segment, they were fighting it out. So, ang saya lang nung animosity nila. That should have had an unsanctioned match. Diba? If Sammy and KO were deserving of an unsanctioned match, paano pa kaya to?
My favorite part about that promo is the fact that CM Punk cared about everything else that was happening in the company in the WWE. Alam mo yun, like he saw what happened at the end of the show, and as a person in the wrestling industry in the company where he had to go up, he had to thank John Cena for giving him the business, diba? For giving the business that fed families for a generation. Talaga dapat na may say siya na, why did John Cena suddenly go turn his back on everything that he stood for over the past 20 or so years, diba? So I like that. The entire episode of Raw should have been everyone on the roster reacting to what John Cena did and The Rock, diba? Kasi it matters to you because there are entire people or entire batches of people and kids who grew up to John Cena, and especially the kids who are new in the business in the company, diba? Parang only CM Punk and R-Truth were visibly reacting to the John Cena turn when everyone should be reacting to the John Cena turn.
People were referencing it, diba? Like si Ludwig Kaiser, sinabi niya na, what I'm gonna do to you is worse than what John Cena did to Cody Rhodes, that type of stuff. But I get what you're saying. I think what I liked about CM Punk being the guy to address this is tumayo na siya as the locker room leader that Drew McIntyre wished CM Punk was. Diba? The presence that Punk was supposed to be sa AEW. CM Punk finally did it. Diba? He spoke for everyone.
Yeah. He became the adult, diba? Parang nakakatawa din yung analogy na yan because he got
locker
fired.
room leader.
Diba? He got fired for wanting to do that exact thing. He called out fucking Jungle Boy, Jack Perry, for using real glass, diba? And then, nag-away sila, got fired because of it. Now, he's doing the same thing, calling people out for their BS. And so, and I don't think he's getting fired from it. I think he's getting the opposite of whatever it is you get in the WWE because, oh my God, kung pwede lang mag-truth say sa totoong buhay, madami nang umaway sa mga boss nila. You know what I mean? Madami nang nag-call out sa BS ng mga managers nila. Diba? Madami naggawa niyan eh. Pero hindi. Si Punk lang talaga yung nakapag-articulate and got the people on his side to do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was really fun. Great start to Monday Night Raw. I would say that the intensity na dinala ni Punk dun sa promo na yun was also a good follow-up to the events of Elimination Chamber, specifically the ending. So we know na CM Punk had a lot to say about Seth freaking Rollins. There's also another guy who has a lot to say about Seth freaking Rollins. That's coming up, Play a Nate, and after this break. But first, we're going to hear from our other podcasts right here on the Pod Network.
still not lost on me. The difference between Seth Rollins last year and this year is like night and day. Diba? Kung matatanda natin, last year, he vowed to be Cody Rhodes' shield against Roman and the Bloodline. And we all know what happened. They were ultimately successful. With many calling Seth Rollins the MVP of the weekend. They even referenced it, diba? He was the MVP. He was the guy. He was the man. He was the man who helped Cody Rhodes. But now it's different. Things have changed. Bigla ko naalala yung promo nung before the Chamber, right? Where Seth promised that he will never turn his back on Cody Rhodes. Well, technically he didn't, but in my opinion, his selfishness and his hatred towards CM Punk essentially led to him indirectly betraying Cody Rhodes. And what I meant was him curb stomping CM Punk, but at the end of the match, basically enabled this demon who we don't know that it's existing inside him all along, named John Cena, to be unleashed, and as a result of that, he might lose the same championship that he helped Cody win last year at WrestleMania. So kung hindi niya ginawa yun, Punk might have won the match, and this whole heel turn by John Cena might not happen.
So wait lang,
So and Cody might have been champion still.
Are you
after
saying that
WrestleMania.
Cena wouldn't have turned heel
Oh,
pag natalo si Cena?
No, because Cena wouldn't have a way to insert himself in the main event if he lost.
But would he
against
still
Punk.
turned heel regardless?
Why would that have stopped the plan B if it was the plan B?
I'm just saying. I'm just looking at it with the way it happened.
No.
Right?
You're assuming that Cena winning was the only way for Cena to team up with The Rock. And that Seth knew everything that was going to happen in that segment after the match. How would Seth know all of that?
Siya ba ang producer nitong segment na to?
No, I'm just saying he betrayed Cody by focusing all his hate towards one guy, and it,
So what
it
did you
might
want him to
cost
do?
Cody.
So
at the
okay,
end.
let's say that Seth didn't help John Cena win inadvertently by taking out CM Punk. And then CM Punk wins. And then John Cena ends up turning on Cody anyway. What now? What now, Emil Nate?
Oo nga.
Ano mangyayari?
At least he
So at least
doesn't play a
hindi
part
kasalanan-
in it. Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
That's what I'm
So,
saying.
naghahanap ka lang ng scapegoat.
Oh.
Naghahanap ka lang ng masisisi for John Cena's heel
It's a
turn.
weird
No,
thing.
I'm not.
Gahanap pa
Yes,
rin ng
it is
Nico
a weird
Harrison
thing.
dito.
This whole play of Nathan is a plan B, Emil. How about that? This whole play of Nathan a plan B.
Yun na nga. He might not be directly involved if those were the situation, but what if
No,
nalang
but
yun eh? His
blaming
actions
Seth
enabled
Rollins
this.
for something that he didn't
Yeah,
know was gonna happen.
Well,
Regardless,
yun na nga
Emil, he was
his
gonna turn heel
actions-
regardless. Diba? Then,
But again, his actions enabled
So-
everything
so-
to happen as it
no.
is.
What?
no,
Yeah,
because
it-
regardless of whether or not CM
Punk
Punk
won,
won the chamber, Cena would have still turned heel because Cody was not going to accept The Rock's offer.
But Cena wouldn't have a title match at Mania.
He could just insert himself because he
Well,
was
the
his
stipulations
boy.
of that.
Kung maging
the sti-
corporate guy ni John
Oh.
Cena, ni The Rock si John Cena, I think that's all moot, right? Because
Yeah, hindi
Yeah,
naman
but
matter
that's
yung
not-
what's right, diba?
That's-
He inserted
that's
himself
not what
into the
happened.
chamber.
that's
That's
not what
not what
happened
happened.
either.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
you say
kaya-
it didn't happen
kaya-
either. So parang
Yun nga, kaya sinasabi
Going
ko,
on, yo.
hindi siya involved, but his actions enabled it to happen. Basically, it's it's the opposite of what happened last week.
normally I would let you cook pero tana sobrang
Yeah.
hilaw nitong take.
I like
na to, pare.
the comment in the chat here by the super prophet Isaiah Elijah. If CM Punk won the match, baka siya yung nagbenta ng soul. What then, Emil Nate?
No, kaya what then? Diba?
We have hit the sophomore slump of playing Nathan. Oh my God.
Yung iba, Diba? Again, I was just thinking about it. Kaya nga sinasabi ko sa inyo at earlier, this might be a stretch. And
I think
guys
you were
were
better.
pointing
I
out
think you were better off going off on the
You
guys.
go back to the NBA, man. Just go ahead. Let's talk about Nico Harrison.
Let's
Fucking
talk about-
Kyrie tore his ACL. The Mavs don't have anybody. Let's talk about that.
That's why I said
Let's talk
it was
about
a
the guys in the
stretch.
pure gold falling to their knees.
That's why I said it was a stretch. Yeah, you guys might disagree with it, but that's how.
Oh yeah,
that's how I felt.
we not might
No,
just
yeah.
disagree with it.
We do
Alright.
actually. We do.
All right.
Very much
Yeah, then,
so.
then it is what it is. That's that you knew that was I was thinking after the chamber, and that's
Okay,
what I
here's
wrote.
here's what's happening to Emil Nate. He's processing his feelings and looking for someone to blame in this whole thing. Blame John Cena, dude.
Yeah. Blame The Rock. Even don't blame CM. Don't blame.
I mean,
Seth
that's
Rollins.
the easy way.
You know,
That's
you
that's
can
a
even
cop-out.
blame Cody and say Cody did not take up the offer.
Yeah, sure, but I'm
Pumayag si
I'm-
Cody maging Homelander, di wala tayo sa problema to.
Oh, diba?
Yung kasi-
Exactly.
yung point ko na kasi dito is very opposite of last year. Last year tinulungan niya si Cody, but this time indirectly he might have cost Cody the
Everyone
championship.
indirectly caused
Yun
Cody
nga. Yun nga. Last year
Maybe Drew
tinulungan niya
McIntyre
eh.
should have lost.
Emil, this is how silly it sounds, ha? For example, if a school shooting happened, sisisiin mo yung security guard kasi binuksan niya yung pinto which allowed the school shooter to enter the
Of
campus.
course not, no.
Don't blame the
No,
security
no, no,
guard,
no.
Emil. Blame the
Don't
school
say-
shooter.
Don't say of course not. That's what you were saying.
Again,
Do you get how silly you sound, Emil?
Yeah,
This
kaya sabi ko
argument
kanina.
has no legs.
Kaya sabi ko kanina.
This
Yeah,
argument.
It's a
Oh,
stretch.
you know what? Never mind. I was gonna make a joke.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Logic-
Sinabi ni Tina. Never mind.
Sa logic na to, Drew McIntyre is also at fault. Logan Paul is also at fault. Who else was in the match?
Damian Priest.
Damian Priest is also at fault.
Yeah,
Kasi they let John Cena win by taking the 3 count.
Sama mo
Then
na,
again,
sama mo na si Lillian Garcia, yung referee, yung nag-ice
Si
ng
Adam
cage,
Pearce, si Nick
si Adam
Aldis.
Cage. Oh, lahat yan, sama mo na.
Jey Uso.
yan.
Jey Uso kasi di niya tinanggap yung ano eh. Di niya pinili si Cody eh. Diba?
Oh, Jey Uso. Oh, diba?
Hindi niya
Again.
pinanalo si John Cena. Si Jey Uso pala may kasalanan eh.
Oh, Logan Paul.
Pati pagkamatay ni Jose Rizal, isisin na rin natin kay Jey Uso. Tara.
Oh.
Sisa natin kay Seth Rollins.
Seth Rollins, ikaw pala may kasalanan nito lahat.
Alright.
I don't know, man. It was an L this week. You got to go back to the drawing board. We
Ang
can't endorse
daming,
this.
ang
We can't
daming
endorse this.
na-disappoint dyan sa rating. Nahiya ako for us kasi
Oh,
hinipe
my,
natin eh. Ginawan pa natin ng graphic eh.
Hey, it can't be W's every week, guys.
Well, now you know.
Clearly not. Clearly not.
Again,
Dami na
that's-
blue
that's-
balls, man.
That's just what I
Ina,
thought.
hinipe man, ginawan pa ng graphic eh. Nag-post pa tayo eh. Tapos,
We'll never let Emil talk about school shootings ever again.
I will never talk about that.
You better not, because
No,
it's gonna be the teacher's fault, the security guard's fault,
No!
fault,
yung janitor.
the student's
diba?
fault.
Yung bus driver. Oh,
May you never be a judge, Emil, because you will always rule in favorably. Okay, let's bounce back. Let's talk about something else that doesn't involve faulty logic, and that is Chad Gable. What's in the box? What's in the box?
A mask.
I guess a mask.
Ako din eh, feeling ko mask eh. That's the only
Gift of the
MacGuffin
Gods
that makes
Championship.
Pwede.
Man!
Pwede,
that would
diba?
be
He
cool.
goes up against Penta and Dragon Lee and all that. Pwede.
But that segment was such like Lucha Underground.
Oh,
vibes.
sobra. Kasi I might be in the minority here when I say I miss the cinematic matches. So I hope we
miss them too.
I hope we get more cinematic stuff like this kasi ang ganda nung aspect ng MacGuffin na nag-glow pa yung box. And like Gable's face is like all pulp fiction. But yeah, I think it's a math. I think he becomes like sino yung mask wrestler na may US flag? I hope it's that mask.
Mr. America.
Yeah, Mr. America. Like he puts on the Mr. America mask. And that's his secret to beating the luchadors.
Mm-hmm. So sino yung kausap ni Chad Gable?
Yeah, who is that?
I don't know.
Man.
Alam ko lang yung hinahanap niya eh. Have you
Si
seen
Rey
this guy?
Mysterio Sr. So malangit nga.
Yeah.
What is he ano yun? What is he, Senor Benjamin pala yun?
Boy pa si Senor Benjamin.
Chad
What if
Gable, I knew you'd come.
What if it's Dario Cueto, di ba?
Oh.
Seriously though, there were reports that he was gonna do a stint in AAA.
Yes.
For something, diba? So
Yeah,
I am not knowledgeable about AAA to predict.
No, he ended up doing stuff with MLW, not AAA. Diba?
MLW ba? Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
They had like a Lucha Underground spin-off or something.
Yeah.
All right. Sige. Moving on from Monday Night Raw, let's talk about NXT NA. Congratulations to Shawn Spears, who finally is a champion in WWE.
I just thought about this when I was watching the match. The match, sorry. Shawn Spears was the same guy who did the 10.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Ty Dillinger.
Nakalimutan ko.
Wow, really?
Yeah, honestly. Because it's
that's
been a while.
That's a lot worse than people not knowing he was Stan.
No, I knew he was
Kasi
Stan. Kasi ilang beses na ni-replay yung segment na yun. But the whole time that he did the 10 thing and then disappeared and then came back as Shawn Spears and was able to reinvent himself, I was very impressed by that because he was able to shake this gimmick that's been so successful for him and reinvent himself as the chairman and reinvent himself as this guy now who won the North American Championship. So hindi na nga siya Ty Dillinger, eh. Diba? He was able to do that successfully. I don't think there are a lot of wrestlers who can say that they've done that, reinvent themselves successfully and come back and win titles. So congratulations to Shawn Spears and to his family by extension.
Yeah, Shawn Spears is a good dude, underrated by a lot of people because he's not super flashy, and the 10 thing was kind of one note. But happy for him. Happy for him that he gets recognized again. Sometimes you just have to go away to get recognized. So a lot of people in wrestling are prodigal children, whether you're a son or a daughter, and the fact that even if you say it's the mid-card championship in a third tier brand of the WWE, of the developmental brand of WWE, which is not even true developmental anymore because evolved na. But a championship is a championship, and a championship is still a hallmark of recognition to your skills, your status as someone who pulls good heat and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
He never won a championship as Ty Dillinger, diba?
Nope.
No.
The North American Championship wasn't a thing, back then. Yeah, so this is good, and I also think I also think that maybe Tony D'Angelo's moving up to the main roster after Mania. Because he has done everything in NXT, in my opinion. Whether or not the family comes with him, still to be determined. Maybe they're going to do a final storyline where the family turns on him. So let's see.
I think it's important to note that during the match, Stax ran into Tony inadvertently.
Yeah.
So they might use that as a jumping off point for Tony to break away from the family or for the family to do the same thing to him. Diba? Kasi tama din kayo, diba? You always say na mas mahirap maghanap ng 4 or 5 slots for people than for 1 slot. Right? So it makes a lot of sense if they just call up Tony D'Angelo and keep the family in NXT, since the 4 other guys or the 3 other guys are pretty fresh.
Here's my problem lang with that idea. Kasi we're gonna compare it to Chase U. Remember, we would argue na, maybe you should call up Chase U as a unit. Mas madali silang buwagin kasi outside of the context of them being students at a school, they can be individual people. Ito pamilya sila eh.
Yeah.
Like they're all connected by whatever bond it is, whether blood or whatever connections to some mafia gang or whatever. So how do you separate them?
All of their gimmicks are mafia positions. Like Stax is a
underboss.
Consigliere
si Luca Cosifino.
So without the family, they would need completely new gimmicks.
Yeah, medyo mahirap buwagin yung D'Angelo family. I think you have to bring them up as a unit.
Which I think
or maybe replace
the whole
Tony
gimmick
with
entirely.
No, replace Tony with someone else. So it's gonna be the leader of the mafia.
I mean, I think it's time for the mafia gimmick. I think tapos na yung run ng mafia gimmick.
Yeah, I think if anything, the mafia gimmick can be changed for something more contemporary. Diba? Hindi yung... Kasi parang 2000s pa lang may mafia sa WWE.
And they weren't even real mafia.
Yeah.
Nung time na yun, diba? They were just, a mafia by name kasi Italian sila.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, I mean, it's
Pero
about time.
full-blooded sila.
Yeah.
Ito, stereotypical mafia. So, it's 2025 and we're still doing cartoonish mafia gimmick.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right, we're gonna do our predictions for Roadblock, pati na rin AEW Revolution in the second half of the podcast. So let's take another break and hear from our other podcasts right here on the Pod Network. Let's do our predictions for NXT Roadblock. And I think the three biggest matches na kailangan natin pag-usapan are the huge title matches. So let's start with big meaty men slapping meat. Oba Femi versus Moose for the NXT Championship.
I
feel like this is going to be a no contest. The new group interferes.
Yeah,
the Shield 2.0.
You do have two champions. Kahit the X Division Championship isn't on the line here, you still do need to protect the champion. So I agree with Emil's take.
Yeah, actually, I was gonna say Obafemi, but I think it would make sense if it is a no contest. Mas possible yun with the new group.
Mm-hmm. All right. Next up, you've got winner take all championship for championship. Julia versus Stephanie Vaquer. Who walks out here with both titles?
If Julia's injured, then it's Stephanie Vaquer.
Yeah, if the reports are true, na Julia needs some time off, then Stephanie walks away with both titles.
It's interesting. I didn't know she was injured because I was gonna say Julia. Kasi hindi naman dahil sa demonyo siya, but mas probable heel sa akin si Stephanie Vaquer. But now that she's actually injured, I guess Julia, kung totoo.
Mm-hmm. And let's talk about the TNA World Tag Team Championship. You've got the Hardy Boys defending against Fraxium.
I actually want to see a TNA champion finally retain in WWE or finally win in WWE. So I think the Hardys will win this one.
This is technically si Zach Wentz. He won as X Division champion, didn't he?
Was the title on the line?
It wasn't.
Oh, yeah.
But he happened to be champion when he beat Wesley.
Yeah.
I mean, natalo ni Moose si Lexis King last week, so.
Oh yeah, that was for the
that happened
for the X Division championship.
Okay. Right.
So I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say that they are doubling down on Fraction being the best tag team in the world, and I'm gonna say Fraction.
You know what? I think Fraction wins, and then winner take all happens at Stand and Deliver. Ladder match. I want to see a ladder match at Stand and Deliver.
Mm-hmm.
So I go with Fraction here for the win.
Paano yung ibang tag teams like sina Briggs and Inamura or
add
Hank
them to
and
the
Tank?
ladder match. Add them to the ladder match. It's a ladder match. We can do multiple ladders.
I want.
All right. Kung may multi-team ladder match na rin lang, you might as well include No Quarter Catch Crew in there just because of the stellar social media game of Miles Bourne. I hope he gets to hear this.
Oh my God.
I don't think he's going to hear about it. I don't think he's going to hear
Shout out Miles Bourne.
I love Miles Bourne, man. My favorite Twitter follow right now.
Yeah. He's really leaning to the Randy Orton comparisons as well.
Hindi niya marinig yung voices eh.
Oh, sabi niya doesn't hear voices, he doesn't hear shit. He's the best. I love it.
Yeah.
Sana one day may interview natin siya.
Kala ko dati kinukupal lang ni Vic Joseph si Miles Bourne ng commentary. Yung pala self-aware pala talaga.
Syempre naman self-aware siya.
I'm
sure everyone would be aware if they couldn't hear.
Also, Chino, it is 2025. I don't think anyone would make fun of a disability with a live mic on TV.
Like, what the fuck, diba? Kasi Booker T and them called him out. Booker T and Corey called him out. So I was like, oh my God, they just turned on him. I was like, now it makes sense. Now he's doing, okay, so gets ko na. Inside thing. I don't have Twitter anymore, so why ko ba?
I mean, apparently Miles Bourne couldn't hear it, but he was in on the joke. So, all right. Let's go through predictions for Revolution, which is happening this weekend, Monday, Manila time. We got to start with 0 hour. So you have the trios match: Big Boom AJ, Orange Cassidy, and Mark Briscoe versus Johnny TV and MXM Collection.
You should have been on the main card, honestly.
Really?
Yeah.
There's more people
like 10 other matches on the main card?
It's Big Boom AJ.
He was also on 0 hour before.
No, medyo nag-decline na yung ano niya, yung hype niya eh. Hindi na siya kasing hype eh.
Wala nang boom.
Boom!
So wala si The Rizzler, so gets okay.
It's a big justice. Yeah.
I think the baby faces win here. I mean, come on.
Yeah, it's
andun
AJ.
yung guest eh. Yeah. Big Boom, andun si Big Boom AJ.
I will say I feel bad for both Mark Briscoe and Orange Cassidy in this spot.
Why?
No, because they were prominent before this.
Oh.
Yeah, Cassidy just did that killer match against Takeshita, and now
I don't
he's on
hate
0 hour with a TikTok star.
I don't hate the idea. I don't hate the idea of Big Boom AJ and the TikTok crew. It's just that ang taas ng tinalo nila.
No.
It's funny lang hearing that from you when you're the same guy who'd happily take on the first match just so you can chill for the rest of the show.
I'm not the main eventer. I didn't main event Dynamite last week. Diba? I wasn't the longest reigning international champion.
All right. Next up, you've got the Continental Championship, Kazuchika Okada versus Brody King.
Okada retains.
Okada.
I want Brody King to win kasi parang wala na sila magawa with Okada being the Continental Champion. Yes, Okada is the best tournament wrestler, yada, 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 but that is not, that doesn't happen when we're not in a tournament. So I think it's time for something new. And I think they're pushing the Hounds of Hell, man. So I think it's time to give Brody King another championship.
Sino yung ginago ni Okada yung lumabas siya tapos he was doing the fake crocodile tears thing? Sino Buddy Matthews ba yun? Yung ginagago niya?
I can't remember.
I think it was. Yep. Diba they were doing a promo tapos lumabas siya. And I go, oh, sorry.
Yun lang yung naalala ko na parang connective thread to get to this match. So I don't know if that's a good thing kasi naalala ko at least, or if it's a bad thing because there's no other connective thread I can remember narratively.
Yeah. Well, yes, it's not the best way to get to the match, but it is a way. So.
Yeah,
that was so long ago though.
Yeah, I feel like they're just waiting for the time that they find. They're just waiting until July to do the Okada Omega match at All In. Mm-hmm. So Okada is just doing random stuff.
Side quest.
So sad though.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, they are in California, and Brody King, even though he's from NorCal, it is still California. So, home state win. All right. Next, steel cage match: Will Ospreay versus Kyle Fletcher.
I think Will needs to get his heat back. People have been complaining then parang nawala yung heat niya after arriving so strongly in AEW as an all-elite wrestler. So I think the mission to remake Kyle Fletcher as a devious single star, as a heel, has been accomplished na rin. So I think it's time to give Will his big win.
Yeah, plus, di ba nanalo na din si Kyle, no, sa pay-per-view? So I give Will his win here.
Yeah, I think it'll be better story-wise, metrics-wise, if si Osprey yung nakatayo doon sa top of the cage, diba, after that victory.
Mm-hmm. All right, next up, MJF versus Hangman Adam Page. And I think the funny thing from today's Dynamite is Hangman Adam Page trying to run over not only MJF, but poor Renee Paquette.
Really? Not
break
the fact
naman
that
siya.
MJF tried to set someone on fire?
I
Oh, well,
think
yes,
I
there's
think
that
the
too.
fire was the worst part, Stan. Come on.
Yeah. Tama,
Let's be
nakalimutan
honest.
ko yung fire part, to
Let's
be
be
fair.
honest.
Pero at least sa AEW di tinutuloy yan. Anyway.
Jesus.
I think MJF wins to send Hangman further down the path of madness again.
Really? Do we need?
Yeah,
I
I
would
agree.
give
Baliw na
Hangman.
siya eh. Diba? Baliw na siya eh. So,
I mean,
he burned the house, a guy's house
to claw
down,
him
so-
back, to get him to push him to claw back further into the light.
So to humanize him even further, you
Oh.
had him lose. Okay, I can live with that.
Hindi, ako Hangman.
I don't hate it either. Yeah.
I mean, Hangman, because diba, the whole point here is MJF is a hypocrite, pero ayaw niyang aminin na hypocrite siya.
Yes, that's kind of how hypocrites work.
Diba? So parang, kaya, so pag nanalo siya, it just proves his point further, I guess, and I don't know how that furthers the story of Hangman and MJF. Whereas if Hangman won, at least kahit paano, nagbunga na yung niya, delve into madness niya. So I think it's the Hangman win here.
Wait lang, why are people clamoring for Hangman to get even crazier? Eh, di ba, ano na nga siya, nag-sprock na nga siya talaga, di ba? That's how we got the Swerve feud in the first place.
I misspoke. I meant that he loses so that he sees even further the folly of his ways.
Yep. Yeah.
Maliliwanagan na siya.
Yes.
Pwede. Actually, yeah, mas pwede yan. Yeah,
Okay, now it makes sense. All right. All right, finally, before we go to break, number one contenders match. The winner goes on to face the AEW World Champion, Swerve Strickland versus Ricochet. Who takes this one?
God.
You know what, Ricochet? I'll go Ricochet here. Reward him because he's been so good lately.
Ako din. Ako, Ricochet. If you're gonna double down on him as your heel, as one of your top heels, then go all in. Give him the number one contendership.
Mahirap to eh, kasi it really hinges on who you will have win the
championship.
Championship at the main event. If you are keeping the championship on Moxley or having Christian win the championship after Cope wins the championship, then syempre, obviously the best bet is Swerve. But if Cope decisively wins this, which would be, one of the better options is to have Moxley retain, then Ricochet is also the better bet. So I feel like the heel champion at the end of the night is way more likely, whether it's Mox or Christian. So my pick is Swerve, because also like Kyle Fletcher na established na nila, okay, Ricochet is transcendent now kasi he broke through the glass ceiling of his prior mediocrity as a character.
Mm-hmm. All right. Did you guys like yung Samantha Irvin reference kanina, or did you think na it was not necessary for the story?
It was fun.
It was
They
fine.
needed the moment. They needed the moment.
Yeah, they needed the moment. So nagkaka-personalan na sila eh. Not necessary.
Diba?
It's okay to stab each other with scissors, but to talk about the other guy's wife, well, follow.
All right. Yeah. Let's take a break. The next half of predictions on the other side. But first, one last message from our other podcasts right here on the Pod Network. All right. Second half of AEW Revolution. Let's start with the TBS Championship. Mercedes Money versus Momo Watanabe.
Mercedes wins though.
Yeah.
Parang wala even if she, like, ever since nanalo siya nung thing, that international showcase match thing, parang walang buzz eh.
Yeah.
For Momo Moto. I don't know. I'm not a Joshi follower.
No,
so,
you're right. Medyo quiet in build.
Yeah, so parang I don't see if she does walk away with the TBS championship. So Mercedes with the dub.
Yeah, me too. I'm more interested in Mercedes versus Athena at some point. Kasi they already established it. They already established that storyline.
Did
Or
they
with
though? Ang
Billy.
mas
With-
nakikita ko
no,
pa nga
with
is Billy Starks.
No, yeah, Billy. Then it's gonna transition to Athena eventually. So, but with this one, Mercedes wins.
Dugtungan mo ng LOL, kinulang mo pa eh. All right. AEW World Tag Team Championship, the Hurt Syndicate versus the Outrunners. And I don't know if you guys noticed yung music video from earlier, yung montage na Outrunners, which they dated 1987. That was pretty funny.
Kasi tanda ko na yung music video na yun.
So I'm extremely happy that the Outrunners went from ROH fodder to this. So that is getting over. And props to Tony Khan, it should be given for naturally recognizing them and just getting them to the spot, even though they don't quite fully capture his, prime idea of a pro wrestler in AEW. It worked. He gave them a shot, and they get to lose to the Hurt Syndicate.
Yeah,
they get to be hurt.
They get to be hurt.
Props to the Outrunners. They're my favorite tag team in AEW, but the Hurt Syndicate are the Hurt Syndicate, and they're tag champs for a reason.
They hurt people.
They hurt people.
They hurt people.
So I'm going with the Hurt Syndicate here for the win.
Mm-hmm. All right, next up, you've got the International Championship match between Konosuke Takeshita and Kenny Omega.
Okay. So, if we are to do Okada versus Omega, then I need Okada to drop the Continental Championship and for Kenny to win this. Like, okay, we've done with Takeshita. He has another belt and he has like 2 other belts. So, okay na siya. He still has a never open weight championship anyway. If he were to lose the international championship, he's already done his mission of being the first ever person to be signed to 3 companies at the same time.
Same, actually, it makes sense, especially considering how many belts Takeshita has and the stakes needed to instigate the Omega Okada face off. So I think Kenny Omega wins. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Kenny wins here, so that he's gonna be the first one to win the international, the world, and the tag team championships in AEW.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm not mistaken, if he does that, he's gonna be the first.
Yeah, en route to being the first Grand Slam champion sa AEW.
Yes. Yeah.
Is that the Grand Slam? Di ba yung TNT?
I actually don't know. I
Medyo
mean,
malabo pa kasi. Sobrang dami ng titles.
Nalunan yan,
kasi
diba?
belts na
Oh, it would have to be all of the championships.
Yeah.
Pati yung FTW.
ROH 6-man. Yeah.
Tsaka yung Real World Championship.
Ayun, trios. Kenny did win the trios as well.
Yeah.
So, yun. Yeah.
No, he's pretty close, yeah.
Yeah, he's the closest one if he wins the international championship.
Mm-hmm. All right, last couple of matches here. You've got the Hollywood ending, the Falls Count Anywhere match for the World Women's Champion or the Women's World Championship. Timeless Toni Storm versus Mariah May.
Can I just say what a segment between Timeless Toni Storm and Mariah May? My God, that promo Toni Storm delivered at the end, chef's kiss, and that is why I believe she's winning this.
Yeah, I'm calling for a Toni win as well.
Yep, Toni Storm as well for me. Plus you got to promote the movie, so have the champion.
All right, and finally you've got the AEW World Championship, Jon Moxley versus Scope. And for me, the biggest question is, will Christian Cage cash in? Because he has been suspiciously quiet.
Cope wins. Jay White turns on Cope, Christian cashes in. That's what I think.
Tas
Okay, so who?
kasalanan
Sino
ni
may,
Seth Rollins. No?
sino may kasalanan nun? Who is going to be to blame if Jay White turns
Seth Rollins
on
pa din
Cope
yan.
and
Kasalanan ni Seth Rollins kasi that one night on Raw, he threatened to kill Edge, Adam Copeland. Drove him to AEW.
I apologize for my L take tonight, guys.
Emil, that's 10 minutes of our lives we'll never get back thanks to you.
Yeah,
it's funny though.
Yeah.
Yeah, guys, sorry.
It is.
Sorry.
I'll give you that. It was funny.
Oh, what did you think about yung segment kanina with Wheeler Yuta being the last Death Rider standing, tapos spinair siya ni Cope, di ba? Pinakitaan siya ng respeto and all of that.
Siya yung may kasalanan when Jay White turns on Cope. Pretty interesting. Maybe he'll be the guy to help Cope win by, possibly turning his back again on John Moxley. That would make him turn like twice in the story now.
Yeah.
I guess.
I think the money match is Cope versus Christian. Right? That's the feud down the road. So I can totally see it happening. Na mananalo si Cope, Christian cashes in. He has the numbers, so he can just easily be on Cope, and then or take Cope out after he's fought this like Broadway match, and then still wins the title, and then magkakaroon ulit ng chase for that. How Ricochet plays into that, or how whoever wins plays into that, is still up in the air for me. But I think that's what happens in the main event.
Yeah, I see Christian cashing in because I predicted Swerve was going to win the championship shot. So I don't think Cope is the type of guy to hold on to the championship in his age, diba? And his toughness, if you will, with regard to injuries. So I think Cope wins para mabuwag na yung Death Rider's mission, and Christian moves into the picture to create a new chapter.
Yep.
I don't think Jay White's turning. I think he's too popular for that.
Okay.
All right. And after all of that happens, maghahanap tayo ng bagong masisisi.
Seth Rollins pa rin yan. Pag si Emil yung tatanungin natin, si Seth Rollins pa rin may kasalanan.
Not gonna let you live that one down, Emil. Nope.
Not for a few weeks.
All right, let's get to some plugs as we begin to wind down here. Chino, we found you alive at 38. What's going on in your neck of the woods?
Yeah, so last few episodes of the Class Clown podcast for the week. Again, thank you to everybody who greeted me. Happy birthday. Mas nakakatuwa na madaming nag-react na namatay ako kasi dun sa walang nag-react at all. So thank you for that. Makes me feel
Chino, even Ashley kinabahan siya when she messaged me.
Thank you, Ashley. We still haven't met in person, but thank you. So,
kasalanan ni Seth Rollins.
Kasalanan ni Seth Rollins yan. Ashley, kausapin mo kasi itong jowa mo. Kung ano na iniisip eh. But for me, the Class Clown podcast that has a few more episodes. This week, I am joined by I like talking to comedians from different parts of the world, and I found out that there is English stand-up comedy in Kazakhstan. So I talked to comedians from Kazakhstan.
Wow. Greatest country in the world.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Thank you for that. About what they think about Borat, about their influences in comedy, how they started doing English stand-up during
about
the
potassium.
pandemic. About that too, sure. But all that and more on this week's episode of the Class Down podcast, available on Spotify and wherever you get your podcast. Fun fact, nalaman ko banned pala ang Spotify sa Kazakhstan. So that's how. It's just a weird thing. I don't know why, but it's a thing that happens. Also,
Banned siya sa Kazakhstan, pero sila pa rin ang #1 source of potassium.
Also, no more shows for me because, like I said, I am flying off into Trumpland for Mania. But please still do support Comedy Manila. They have a lot of shows there, comedymanila.ph. And for everything I do, it's linktr.ee/Chino Supersized.
Guys, mag-pray kayo na kumain si Chino ng tama habang nasa States siya. Alam naman natin, malalaki yung mga servings doon. And, it's not the healthiest place in terms of food.
Baka magkatotoo yung pinost ni Stan.
Wow.
Wow. Okay. That got dark.
Kasalanan ni Seth Rollins yan.
Oh my God! You guys are not gonna let this go.
Not at all.
Not at all. Aga pa.
Emil, anong plugs mo?
Anyway, just follow the pod on all social media platforms and support the pod by subscribing to Patreon and Gag.
All right, Ro.
DexCon is now available on Triller TV Plus. Guys, head to trillertv.com or download the Triller TV app. It is only $2.99 to subscribe to Triller TV Plus. Guys, Triller TV Plus getting DexCon was like one of my dreams because I'm already subscribed. We as a podcast are already subscribed to Triller TV Plus. We get all the finest indies today, GCW, Bloodsport, all the other stuff, Defy, House of Glory. So to join those and to be a part of that package for only less than 200 pesos, saan ka pa? Diba? Sana naman may pambili na kayo niyan. To support the local wrestling scene going international. The shows from last year will be slowly rolled out. WrestleStorm 2024 is already up there. I think Dekada is coming tomorrow or this weekend, and the rest of the shows will be showing up in a matter of weeks. WrestleStorm 2, which is happening next week, will be the first the first event of the Triller TV era. So if you're gonna be at that show, makikita mo mukha niya sa Triller TV. But if you're already on the last shows from last year, then you would already seen yourselves there, right? So go check that out. But if you also want to be at the shows themselves, at WrestleStorm 2 itself next week, may tickets pa, dexcon.helixpay.ph. Yoshi Tatsu's gonna be there, Best Bros, a whole bunch of other people as well. It's going to be a whole lot of fun. We'll see you there.
All right. Ako naman, just plugging Now Steaming. Our latest episode features Gabriel Go from the MMDA, the guy most known for his clearing operations videos. Yung nagsasabi ng skog. Yun. So if you've been finding those videos online and enjoying the clearing ops, you might want to hear his point of view on his role as the head of the special operations group ng MMDA. And if you've got a Netflix subscription and a VPN, do give Tagalog commentary a chance. I know a lot of people have stuff to say about the way we called yung heel turn ni John Cena. But some of you may have only heard like the first few seconds. Like try to listen to the end because the same people na nagrereklamo probably didn't even hear what you wanted to hear, which was Travis Scott getting called Epal on Netflix. So
I'm sure they were just nababadoyan lang sila sa Tagalog kasi alam naman pag Tagalog pamasa. Yeah, that's the whole point.
Yeah, diba? That's the point of localization. It's not for you English speaking Filipino.
Oh, mga Englishera.
Nosebleed.
All right, time for us to get out of here. Thank you so much for joining us for another episode of the Wrestling Podcast. Follow the show at Wrestling2X Pod on TikTok, Twitter, and Blue Sky, at Wrestling Podcast. Everywhere else individually, we are at _Stan C, at Roas War, at Chino Supersize, and at EML_Meister. Thank you as well to babyface producer Jasper and everyone over at the Pod Network for all of their help behind the scenes and for always putting us over. And thank you for catching another episode of the longest running weekly episodic Filipino wrestling podcast. For Ro Moran, Chino Liao, and Emil Nate, I'm Stan C, reminding everyone to stay safe, stay cool, and don't be a dick. Wrestling Podcast out. Later, Outcasts.
Peace.